Folks, there's two clips. There's one which the fake media is playing over and over again.
What happened to her husband?
And then there's another which is 30 seconds and it gives context. So you actually know what Trump is talking about when he says, quote, "Where's her husband?"
Lifetime she said, "I will never run against him." Then she comes over to see me at Mar-a-Lago. "Sir, I will never run against you." She brought her husband. "Where's her husband?" "Oh, he's away. He's away." What happened to her husband? What happened to her husband? Where is he? He's gone. He knew. He knew.
Did Trump just mock the military service of Michael Haley, the husband of Nikki Haley? My, that is so disrespectful, and I'm so offended. Or I would be if it weren't completely out of context and fake news. Let me explain. Trump was saying that Haley promised him that she would not run for president. Furthermore, Trump was saying that Michael Haley was present at the time that Nikki Haley made this assurance to Trump that she would not run. And therefore, Trump is implying that Michael Haley was kind of complicit in this promise and therefore complicit in the betrayal. The betrayal being that Nikki Haley did in fact run for president because her ambition really is the driving force and is much more of a driving force than her sense of honor. And here is Nikki Haley on Twitter, now X. She's really milking this issue with her husband Michael, who is in the military, and this supposed faux pas by Trump. Michael and his military brothers and sisters fight every day to protect our country and freedom. We owe it to them to make sure we don't take it for granted. South Carolina, make your plan and vote early. And then there's a picture of her hugging her husband in uniform and other, I guess, family members looking on. So, really, I mean, she's really milking this, and the media is trying to help her as much as they can. The media is trying to help her as much as they can, but when you really analyze this issue, it's basically a nothing. It's a nothing burger, and we'll discuss her husband's service as well. Now, here's what I mean. Trump kept repeating, "Where's her husband? Where's her husband?" It really was unfortunate, to be honest, because he kind of made that into a soundbite, and it was a little weird, like to repeat, "Where's her husband?" But as I said, I believe what Trump meant is that her husband was present at the time that Nikki Haley made this promise to Trump not to run. Now he's just out of the picture conveniently. And Nikki Haley was discussing this on Face the Nation yesterday, Sunday, and she sounded like she was going to start crying. So I don't know if she's acting and she's starting to believe her own lines as a method actor, perhaps. But let's dig into Michael Haley. And look, the guy's in the military. It's fine. It's good. He was in the South Carolina National Guard. He is currently deployed in Africa as a staff officer. And here's the thing, though. Nikki Haley keeps referring to him as a combat veteran, quote unquote. And I found that kind of extraordinary. Like, is he a combat veteran? And I really don't see any evidence of that. In fact, according to Wikipedia, Michael Haley was a, quote, liaison between civilian and military in Afghanistan around 2012, and he had 6 months in Afghanistan. So his role was not combat, but he was in a combat zone. Does that make him a combat veteran? Like, I don't know, maybe technically it does, but just as a layman, that's not really, when you say combat veteran, for me, as a non-military person, that evokes like you're holding a gun and shooting at people and people are shooting back at you. Like, to me, that's combat. Combat is not doing like bureaucratic, liaison stuff. And I'm not disrespecting that. Like, surely being in Afghanistan is not a safe place to be. But I don't necessarily think that makes him a combat veteran, number one. And number two, it's like, for a lot of people, the military is a job. Like, again, you're not necessarily doing combat. You're not necessarily being shot at. And it's not something I disrespect, but it doesn't necessarily give you moral authority, or even less likely, if your husband happens to be a part of the military as an organization, it doesn't give you moral authority. And some people have even speculated, such as on Newsmax, Greg Kelly said that Michael Haley joined the military like when he was in his 30s. And Kelly implied that perhaps he joined the military or the National Guard just so Nikki Haley could kind of use this as a talking point. That's very cynical, but, that kind of stuff does happen, let's be honest. And I think Nikki Haley is kind of a slick politician, and I wouldn't put it past her. I just wouldn't. And so if that makes me a jerk, then so be it. I'm putting it out there that Michael Haley is not what I would call a combat veteran, and I don't really think Nikki Haley is offended. I think Trump sounded kind of weird when he kept saying, "Where's her husband?" So it was not like a savvy way to put together that little tidbit. But I think the main idea in Trump's speech is that Nikki Haley betrayed him, and Michael Haley is, according to Trump, not an honorable guy because he was complicit in that betrayal. And that's how it is. That's how it happened. So, fact check. Did Trump disrespect and mock Michael Haley's service? No. That's what the media is implying, but I think that as you give it a close read, as I have, and you look at the facts and the direct military experience of Michael Haley, there isn't really much to this story. It's so familiar too, isn't it? This type of media hit job. We expect it. It's all good. My name is Michael McCara. Thank you so much for watching. In the description, you can find my Twitter handle. Follow me on there. Check out my blog, michaelmccarablog.com. Like this video and follow me on YouTube, which is to say, subscribe to my channel.
I've only heard what love can do, and now